Our Saturday tripleheader on CBS begins in Lexington, Kentucky. And yes, they are ready for this rivalry once again. It's the Kentucky Wildcats hosting the Louisville Cardinals for the 55th time. Hey everybody, I'm Tom McCarthy along with Bill Raftery. Jay Wright is with us. You're going to do a full game with us today. This is pretty sweet. Happy New Year, everybody. Rivalries. It's all about college basketball, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, I felt like I've been involved with some great rivalries, but I can feel it. Being here since yesterday, walking around Lexington, you can feel it. This place is fired up.
You finally got a real job, huh? By the way, did you get a full day's pay for that Oklahoma appearance?
I knew you were going to be worried about that, only working 10 minutes that game.
Great to be with you.
It's great to be here in Lexington. All right, let's talk about these Wildcats, Billy, a little bit. Oscar Tshiebwe, pretty special on the boards.
I just love this kid's attitude, his spirit, his involvement, totally immersed in a ball game. Can put it on the deck. That's not the best thing he does. He can block shots, he can rebound, and of course post up and be a dominant figure. And besides that, my case in point, this kid can play the point, the two guard, can make some threes. Obviously, let him put it on the deck and be a little more creative. But he is a talent, Tom.
Yeah, he is a pretty special guy. All right, so Jay Wright, you've been in this position before where Kenny Payne is. They're 2-11. It's been a rough go for him in his first year as the head coach of Louisville. How can they pull off this upset with our AT&T 5G fast analysis?
They can pull this off because they've played well in their last 4 games, but they've got to do 3 things. Number one, they've got to value the basketball. They've turned the ball over at an alarming rate this year. Those turnovers will turn into easy Kentucky baskets. That can't happen in this place. Next, they got to make sure they control the backboards. Now, you got to do that every game. But when you got Tshiebwe on the other side, he's going to kill you on the offensive glass if you let him get easy ones. Finally, L. Ellis has to put together a masterpiece. He's done it. He did it against Western Kentucky. It was a win. He's got to do it here in Rupp Arena.
Tom, I thought I would be the authority on lost causes. Advanced starts.
It is going to be an awesome atmosphere here today. Louisville against Kentucky. The tip is next. Kentucky comes in number 19 in the country, taking on Louisville, and Kenny Payne, who spent a long time under John Calipari at Kentucky, his first year, 2-11. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's ball game. Couple of things to point out. For Kentucky, it's the first time they're using this starting 5, and Jacob Toppin is back in the starting lineup because John Calipari told us yesterday that he's trying to build his confidence, but in reality, he's trying to build his entire team's confidence. Calipari, of course, in his 14th year, 372 wins as the head basketball coach at Kentucky.
A master psychologist, I might add.
Big time.
Would you agree?
I think he knows the business of college basketball better than anybody ever. He knows the recruiting, the marketing, the coaching, and we know he's a psychologist. We watched him in practice yesterday.
Absolutely. Of course, I didn't have the wardrobe you had, but other than that, some limitations there.
Yeah, 2.5 hours yesterday in practice, and it was all about building up their confidence. All right, here we go. Joe Lindsay, out of the great city of Philadelphia, is at center court, ready to toss it up. Curry, Tshiebwe, we're underway. And Kentucky controls the tip. Wheeler's an excellent point guard, by the way.
Hey, Tom McCarthy, Jay Wright. All of a sudden, Louisville goes a little.
Louisville worked on a little 1-3-1 yesterday in their shoot-arounds. Here's Wheeler assessing. Wallace trying to go into Tshiebwe. They want Tshiebwe to get as deep as possible today.
Curry and Tshiebwe is a physical matchup inside.
A little nickel dimer on the outside there. A giveaway. Brandon Huntley, Hatfield. I noticed, Jay, about getting the pass to him has been the problem. His shape up,
agreed.
The angle.
We watched them work on that, and you could see the patience they had there, right, trying to get it into him. Louisville started with good team defense, keeping the ball out of the post.
Well, they'll inbound the basketball. Kentucky will along the baseline. Wallace triggering the inbound, gets it into Wheeler.
Big thing, I think, is defensive rebounding for Louisville. Can't give them second opportunities. Tshiebwe and Toppin amazing around the rim.
Little zone now by the Cardinals.
Good ball.
3-pointers, good from the corner by Livingston, the freshman.
And Wheeler didn't waste any time. Great chest pass into the pocket.
John Calipari told us yesterday, Jay, It's not about life and death. I'm trying to get these guys to understand it is just a game that they've played for so many years.
And Chris Livingston was the guy, he was looking in his face saying that. That was a great start to get him going early.
Huntley Hatfield into the paint, and he's able to get that one to go.
I don't want to disagree with anybody, but it is life or death in this place.
I think John's the only one that says that in this building.
Oh, how about that? Wallace making the three, sets up his dribble drive, didn't get back here.
And the penetration by the Cardinals, they did work on this yesterday too.
Look at the perfect read. Perfect read. Even that pass was so poor, you didn't get an open look at the corner.
Well, they may have gotten away with a violation. It doesn't matter, a turnover.
That was a great start for Kentucky. Defensively, that's the pressure they want to put on them. They know that Louisville turns the ball over, and that's a confidence builder for them. Louisville's got to handle this now. Kenny Payne talked about that, right, Raph, about how do they handle the adversity on the road.
Other part of it, too, is that a lot of their turnovers this year have been basically stepping out of bounds, losing the basketball out of bounds. Toppin with an aggressive move. That might get him going, Bill.
Used the rim beautifully. Nice little dribble drive. Don't settle for that deep shot.
He's averaging just 3.5 over his last 4 games. So, as John Calipari said, I got to get him back in there.
I think they got to get Curry in the low box area, Jay. Let him dominate there a little bit. Nice help with the rake.
Three-pointer up top, no good. Off the side of the iron by James.
He can make those. He's got 8 for the year with 30%.
Wheeler, Livingston along the baseline. Toppin, pull up Jay. Good.
The layup gets him going, maybe.
Wow. These are the two guys that John Calipari wanted to get going. Toppin and, of course, Chris Livingston. And both of them have delivered early.
Their other idea is to get rid of the basketball out of L. Ellis's hands. He runs the point. He does a lot of stuff for Louisville.
That's why we may see Basili a little later. Let him play.
Withers off the glass, no good. Ball's tipped to Toppin.
Wither or not, that may have been a foul.
Toppin right to the basket, off the glass, no good.
There he is.
That's 400 offensive rebounds for his career in the putback.
He doesn't run the floor poorly, does he?
Pretty good start for the Wildcats. 10-point lead. We'll be back. Jacob Toppin here.
This is Cal's guy that he feels can make the difference for them. Great, solid jump stop, putback.
And this is the ability to run the floor. We know he can offensive rebound, but the ability to get the puppies up and down and dominate that low box area. This kid, he's got wings, he's got spirit, and he really has great desire.
How about a 9-0 run? That's 400 offensive rebounds for him. I mean, he is a rebounding machine, but 400 offensive rebounds.
The average is almost 5 a game.
I think Bobby Huggins loves watching him play here.
Yeah, the transfer from West Virginia. Ellis covered by Wallace up top.
Got to go inside or dribble to the rim here if you're Louisville. Curry has not had a touch on the box.
They're doubling Curry.
Ellis to the basket, sweeps it and lays it in.
That penetrate, break that D down.
They got movement before they got Ellis the ball, so they couldn't double him.
Getting it side to side pretty good early here, Kentucky.
8-point lead. That ended a 9-0 run. Tshiebwe's not going to shoot a 3. That ball knocked away.
Nice hands there by Withers.
Shot clock under 10. Wheeler assessing. Toppin, aggressive. Toppin off the glass.
How good is this? Twice with the left. Wow. The little dribble drive. Dominating.
And that's what Cal wants him doing. He wants to be more aggressive going to the basket, not settling for threes. And I think that's made a big difference for them here at the start.
He had 4 points in his last 2 games. And look what he's done here. He's got 6 in the first half. 10-point lead for Kentucky.
Again, got to go to the hole somehow.
Ellis using his speed, doesn't get the roll.
Look at the numbers here. Look at the big fella.
Yeah. Wheeler for 3.
Getting better at that. That's the one thing with Wheeler. He makes those threes. He can turn the corner. Loves that left, obviously, but he can go right.
I think that's the one that Cal wants to get away from, that quick 3 in transition. They got an offensive rebound that saved them there.
Shot clock is at 2. Livingston from the free throw line. In and out.
Look at this.
Tshiebwe off
Pursuit. Pursuit. Huh?
It's amazing, though. I mean, guys have a nose for the basketball like that. It's amazing.
Well, I've heard him talk about look at this penetration. Too easy. Got to get a stop if you're Louisville. Nobody in the gap. What, one-on-one, decimating the D.
This is Toppin, who's really come on. He's such a key to this team. Big time finish. And there's our guy.
Jay with that whole thing.
I appreciate the suit picture. And it's not bad to step down and be here with you guys in this atmosphere. But let's get these Cards going here, man. Cards got to pick it up. They can do it. They got to pick it up defensively and keep Tshiebwe off the offensive glass.
By the way, those last two coaches, I think Tshiebwe.
Yeah.
Right?
Good pronunciation,
The
Bill.
three of us combined, myself included, we have about 1,600 wins, I guess. I have 5. They have the old banquet story, but no, you're right about them. You got to stop people on the straight line drive.
Yeah, and Wallace is as good as anybody at going to rim, and he started off with a 3, which makes him more difficult to guard.
3-point play, no good. Tshiebwe's putback is no good, but he's going to the free throw line.
He's quick and opportunistic, but you got to squeeze him. You got to have your 2 biggest guys on his side.
And Curry's got to understand in this game, he can't really be pursuing rebounds. He's got to stay, keep his body on Tshiebwe and not let him get there. Let the other guys clean up the rebounds.
Well, to the line. They'll get a couple here. And by the way, Kentucky yesterday at practice worked on free throws over and over again. And it's because the last 5 games they're at 58%. You guys have both coached. It's tough to coach free throw ability.
Well, Villanova, as you know, led the country a couple of times. Last year, what were you, 83 for the year, I think, as a team.
Yeah, last year, actually, it was an all-time NCAA record.
Yep.
But it's something that you can't just work on one day, right? But if anybody did a good job in one day, it was Cal yesterday.
Yeah, he wrote him pretty good about it. All right, here's Ellis. He has 1 bucket so far for Louisville.
Well, you got to right to the rim on that.
Ellis for 3, no good. Tshiebwe has it knocked away. It's off the hands of Roosevelt Wheeler.
Well, you have an opportunity to dribble drive, get right to that rim. They had him spread. No post defender.
Kenny Payne's brought Wheeler in here right away to try to keep Tshiebwe off the glass.
Yeah, he's got a height advantage. Not as thick, obviously.
You almost have to double team on rebounds, him.
Roosevelt Wheeler, 11th tallest player in Division I.
Look at this. Too easy. Made him invisible. That shape up with the big body, number 34.
He really did. That's coaching, man. Stepping in front like that and sealing, that's great footwork.
14-point lead for the Wildcats here in the first half.
I'd like to see Louisville a little more fight, particularly on that defensive end.
Mike James hands it off to Trainer. Trainer gets it to the corner. Shot clock is under 10. Lands.
Let it go.
He can go. He can go.
Well, he stopped his dribble. The double team just throws it up. Roosevelt Wheeler's putback is no good, but he'll go to the free throw line.
There we go. That's what we need from Wheeler and Lands. Lands can bring them some offense.
Fouls on Tshiebwe. 1923, a Yellowstone origin story is now streaming exclusively on Paramount Plus. The young man could be a character in that. Got the hat.
You mentioned Lands. He's the kind of a kid who can make some threes, too.
Yeah, Lands can bring him some offense here. You're right. And you know, I'd like to see. Let's see Wheeler do something here, man. He can keep a big body on Tshiebwe. He can't let him just bury him under the basket like that on the defensive end.
I think he was out with a concussion protocol too earlier.
Yeah, he did miss
Western Kentucky.
Oh, he missed one. He made one. By the way, Louisville averages more than 20 free throw attempts a game. That's a big deal.
Of course, if Jake listens to me, he's going to be out with concussion protocol
After a season with you, Raph, I hope I can make it through, buddy.
That would be fun.
18-5, Kentucky's on top.
There's that 1-3-1 you mentioned, Tom, earlier. It's a 2-3 morphs into where you put the bodies.
Right.
Wheeler looks in, Toppin, free throw line, Toppin in the paint. And Toppin missed, but he'll go to the free throw line.
Yeah, that's so vulnerable in that foul area.
Well, Kenny Payne taking over Louisville after being assistant coach with the New York Knickerbockers, but he was with Kentucky for a long time under John Calipari as the associate head coach. Excellent player, of course. 19th pick in the '89 NBA draft. He recognizes what the task is here for him.
His attitude is exceptional. He knows what he's up against, the difficulty. And you had a little discussion with him, too, in terms of coming in with the cloud over the program.
Yeah, and he knows he's in this for the long term, and he's trying to build his culture right now. And he's trying to create a foundation. Now, it's tough when you're creating a foundation to go against a great team like Kentucky, but you've got to stick with it and be patient. I think he understands that.
Yeah, that cloud of NCAA violations wasn't lifted until November, so it was hard for him to recruit. As Lands goes to the rim, but is fouled, so he'll get 2 shots.
He's offensive-minded. Got the Cardinal red on that top there. Little dribble drive. Can't settle for threes against this team. You're going to get runouts.
No. And Kamari Lands is an aggressive offense player. He can get to the foul, and he's been a good free throw shooter, of course, as soon as we say it. But he's a guy that can bring a spark. Ellis still has to take some tough shots because he's the guy that can put up big numbers. They got to get him where they can't double team him in the middle of the floor.
By the way, that miss by Lands was only his second one in the last 4 games and his 3rd overall this year.
And to Jay's point as well, 93% free throw shooter, pretty impressive. Once again, the zone, that middle, so vulnerable, and you can disperse. Look at that, it's too easy for Toppin. That's good.
Toppin's got 9 points to start this game.
You know what, Kenny Payne's going with Huntley Hatfield at the 5 now. And going smaller. Let's see if they can rebound it with their speed and quickness.
He's got a little post game too. A little drop step in that low lane.
Trying to get Ellis on the cut.
Nice curl.
Baseline.
Nice pump. Big time. Bang. Nice insertion here, huh? Look at the guy running the floor. Errant pass. Not enough air on the Wheeler. But boy, he tests you defensively.
This is Huntley Hatfield. This is why they got him in the game, to get Tshiebwe away from the basket, and he can pump fake him and face up and get to the rim. I like this lineup they have in here right now.
The transfer from Tennessee.
J.J. Trainor's in there also at the 4 spot, which allows him to spread out.
And he's an offensive rebounder too. Penetration.
How about that drive by Ellis?
This lineup has made a difference here.
No, once you can't do that. Nice recovery, but goodness, being pinned on a basket.
Here comes Ellis into the open floor, knocked away by Wheeler, quick hands.
Well, you know, certain things annoy people as coaches or former players. You got to get the ball on the right side on the other end. Now, this is the earlier play and the run. You got to get it. You've got the guy on your right. You got to cup it on the left, protect it, and get the layup.
They're staying smart. Think about this. Missouri spread Kentucky out, and they made Tshiebwe come out and guard with a 5 perimeter lineup. And this is what Louisville's doing right now, and it's worked here. They're going on a little run. I like this.
Yeah, they work it up top. They get it to Ellis on the curl again. That's a tough pass.
I think it was Kobe Brown, too, that had a monster game.
Here's Ellis.
Good dish.
Down low, and he lays it in.
I like them competing. Look at the benches alive. I was impressed with the spirit at the practice last night.
Agreed, 100%.
I didn't like your spirit after the practice.
You like the spirits, though, after practice.
Look at this entry.
Tshiebwe able to stay with it and lay it in.
He's got glue in those fingertips. Don't make it a one-on-one battle.
Huntley Hatfield trying to isolate, ball knocked away.
Nice hands. Well, they played to jump the passing lane.
23-12, Louisville fighting back.
Here come the Cards with a smaller lineup. Ellis with a big steal. Great pass. Huntley Hatfield with a finish.
Pretty remarkable what John Calipari said yesterday. I got to get Jacob Toppin's confidence back up. It's up today.
Well, when you start him, you're telling him, I believe in you. And Jacob Toppin has delivered. And when Jacob Toppin gets it going, this is a totally different team, because now you got 4 perimeter scorers with Tshiebwe inside.
He had no points against Missouri. Zippo.
I believed in a lot of guys. They may not have gone through, but He is amazing over the years. Watching at UMass in particular.
Yeah.
What he did there was forgotten by people. It was absolutely phenomenal. But he just understands the psyche of a player. And at this level, too. It's a little different.
It definitely is different, and he's the best at it.
So they go inside for Withers. One-on-one with Toppin.
Got to reach in here, give it to Toppin, or Wallace saying give it to Toppin.
I like this, Raph. If you notice what they're doing, they're getting Withers inside, but they've got Huntley Hatfield on the outside, so Tshiebwe can't affect any of the post.
Yeah, we asked Kenny Payne last night what kind of offenses he run. Is it a lot of Kentucky stuff? He said it is some, but it's a lot of NBA stuff too, kind of isolation.
Yeah, there's a lot of run-out ball screens and duck-ins like that. Nice look at denial. It's tough to get the ball. This kid just leaves it all out there. Great denial and a terrible entry too. Got to go baseline, dump it to that lead hand along the baseline. Almost a giveaway there.
Yeah, it was almost what we saw last night, the precision that he had with each pass. He would stop the practice and say, nope, we got to do it again, and the entry pass has to be better here.
That's going to pay off later in the year. Right now, it's tough. If you're teaching that stuff now, it's tough in this environment. But it's going to pay off.
Ellis covered by Wheeler. Shot clock is under 10. Shot clock at 5.
Oh, shoot it.
Oh, shot clock is at 2. They don't realize it. Withers, he's caught.
They got a foul before. No, violation.
That was close to a really good possession because they got Huntley Hatfield on the slip right here.
I thought they
Great pass. Withers wasn't ready. He's got to be ready to catch that for a 3.
You're not coaching now.
All right. You're right.
No, you're absolutely right.
23-12. Here's Wallace, a little shake and bake. He probably had a step to the basket there.
John's giving Thero some opportunity here. Quick to the ball, rebounds.
Tshiebwe trying to get deep, lost control.
Not a good pass.
Louisville's got good team length. They can play defensive. They should be a better rebounding team.
Boy, Hatfield had the switch he wanted.
3 up top. No good. Ball's tipped around. Tshiebwe with another rebound. That's number 7 for him.
Gets the ball.
And here's Wheeler. 3 turnovers. Just the 5th time.
Look who's under the rim, too. Wow. Tshiebwe just does a great job screening and rolling.
It's a happy new year indeed with the return of a new episode of TV's smash hit, Ghosts. See why it's the Critics' Choice nominee for Best Comedy Series, New Ghosts, Thursday after Young Sheldon here on CBS. And it's led us to believe that maybe that chair is not empty. Who knows, guys? Who knows?
Raph, I saw what you saw in the last play. They really made a mistake on that ball screen, and Tshiebwe was wide open under the rim. They actually caught a break there. The foul might have been a break.
Niensa in the game now. Good shot blocker.
Back to the zone.
Yeah, Tshiebwe did not sit much at all against Missouri.
The happiest guy is Toppin in that 3-second lane. Look at this kick out.
The arrow into the paint. Wheeler up top, shot clock at 3. No good.
Look who's there, though.
Toppin's got it. Put back, blocked away.
Tough to check out in that zone, too. It is. Good equal opportunity. You know, easy looks, and, of course, the ability to scrape after it. Toppin's having himself a great game. Nice bounce back.
And by the way, that's Withers' second foul. And it's going to send Toppin to the free throw line.
Onianso's in the game now, too. John said he wanted to get him some minutes, and he's trying to build this whole team's confidence and trying to create a rotation that gives them some depth. Have
you gone this late in your season where you were unsure of rotations?
Yeah, and you know what happens with C.J. Frederick being hurt? That's forcing him to change his rotation a little bit.
11 first-half points for Toppin on those 2 made free throws. 7th time this year he's had 10 points or more. Again, he didn't have anything against Missouri. Here's Ellis. Ellis to the basket. That's a tough shot.
He is something else. I like him going to the rim and not settling.
I do too, Raph. I like him in the middle of the floor like that when they can't double him in the pick and roll.
2-time junior college player of the year, All-American.
They're going all under on Wheeler, and a pretty good defensive set for that reason.
Huntley Hatfield gets the rebound. Ellis back up the floor. Huntley Hatfield, he feels like he'd probably do something here. Backing his way in against the freshman.
Got the strength. Wow. Nice little jump hook.
Hey, Huntley Hatfield was a top 25 recruit when he went to Tennessee. He's a big-time player. I think they found something here with him at the 5.
Yeah, number 4 overall. And he's got 8 points. He's perfect from the floor.
I think he transferred because he couldn't understand the accent.
Wallace rattles it home.
There's another top 10 player right there. Casey Wallace can do it all.
Yeah, he has 7. Ellis hands it off to James.
James has been quiet because he hasn't been in the game. He can make some shots for them. Nice curl for a nice look. Good give back. What a follow. Landed.
Loose, picked up by Louisville. How about that? That is a pretty shot.
Turn around, trainer. Mid-range game he's good at.
I think they're building some confidence here. I think the Cards had a tough start and they've responded pretty well.
It's part of what Kenny Payne said even yesterday. He said, you know, we give up these runs and then we don't answer. Wallace is fouled. Count the bucket.
You mentioned Philadelphia. How about a Willie Moscone spin? Off the glass. Huh?
Well, they wanted him to go to the rack a little bit more. I guess that's going to the rack a little bit more. He'll get a free throw when we get back to Lexington. Let's take a look at the Jersey Mike subs game summary. No, we said rebounding was going to be important. 7 of the 11 are Tshiebwe.
And the Cats love to hit the glass. Toppin's got the others.
Yeah.
And where he gets these rebounds a lot of times is by burying his man under the basket so his man can't rebound. He's outstanding at setting his man up for his own rebounds. Then, when the Cats drive the ball, Tshiebwe's man steps to help. He's a master of recognizing that and going to the offensive glass.
If you don't run the floor with him, you got no shot because he just pushes you under the glass.
Yeah, because he does run the floor. He doesn't stop.
Great motor.
That was a great shot. Cal complaining to the refs. I'm thinking, you're playing this well. What could you be complaining about? But I did the same thing all the time.
You were setting him up for other games.
You know, you never feel like you're safe. You
No.
never feel like it's, no matter how well your team's playing.
The great Billy Packer years ago, my wife Joan said to him, "What team do you coach?" He had no idea what he did. And I said, "He coaches all of them."
Lead is back up to 12. Under 8 minutes to play, first half. Hello, Bill Raftery and Jay Wright. I'm Tom McCarthy here on New Year's Eve.
Nice exchange on the baseline. They're not lifting when Curry's in there, Jay.
Exactly.
Ellis kicks it out. James drives, tough shot. Angle wasn't there, gets it back, blocked away. And here's Curry. Curry off the glass, it's good.
I wonder if he got a 1:30 in the morning call, right?
It's amazing, Kenny Payne.
Kenny Payne calls him at 1:30 to make sure, A, that he's in his room, and B, that there's no pizzas at the doorstep. Got to keep that weight down for him.
He's lost about 15 pounds. They say you can see it in his lift more than anything else. Little double team.
I thought he had the corner pass. Pretty good cover by James.
Shot clock at 5. Collins throws it up. Livingston lost it, and Louisville comes out with it.
Good stop. That was a good stop for Louisville. Let's get a good possession here.
John trying to get Collins in a nice deflection there by what a great defender. 7 steals against Michigan State he had. In really great position with his feet.
You know, Kenny Payne told us last night about Curry. He said, I met with him, and I said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, well, I want to lose weight because I want to become a better player. So that's why he said, all right, if I put together a plan for you, will you follow it? He said, yes, I will. And he is following it. They'd like to get him down to 260 if they can.
I'm going to have him call you at 1:30 in the morning.
It's probably not a bad idea. Curry lost control.
Again, Tshiebwe with the strength, but Wallace, the deterrent. Nice steal.
Great job.
Numbers here. As Curry just can't get down the floor quick enough.
Yeah, Ellis to the basket, slips it off the glass.
Tshiebwe is such an amazing runner.
And L. Ellis is so dynamic in the open floor, man. When you get it, he just has a way of slithering to the rim.
And getting to free throw line, I think he had 11 of them maybe made against North Carolina State.
Lead is down to 8. I think that might have been basket interference.
You got it.
Yeah.
But that's the play, guys, I'm talking about. Curry can't leave Tshiebwe to go help. If he does, it's a basket. He's got to fake at that guy and get back. They got to keep Tshiebwe off the offensive glass.
Now, does somebody else have to come help, or is it just the fake?
It's a fake and make the guard take a tough shot. Because if Tshiebwe gets it, it's done. It's a dunk.
All right, a little full court pressure now by Kentucky. White ball.
Wow.
Yeah, he moved. He ran the baseline.
I got to say, Pat Adams just gave that explanation, which we could hear.
Yeah.
It was a good explanation.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say, but you can try it again, but he said, it's white ball.
That's the problem they've had. They're not necessarily leading live ball turnovers, but just not getting shots.
Exactly.
I think they had 8 or 9 less shots attempted against State.
Wallace open, tries to go to Toppin.
Nice kick.
Livingston for 3.
Going the other way.
Yeah, they're going to call that on Michael James.
Wow. Wow, that's tough.
Yeah, Kenny begging over there. I don't blame him.
But that's how you've got to defend Tshiebwe on the offensive glass. You got to get into him. You can't leave him to go help. And Mike James actually did a pretty good job right there. But what the refs want you to do there is leave your feet. They want you to leave your feet to go to the rebound. Then they'll give you the over-top call. If you don't leave your feet, they call it on you.
You know, to your point before, if it's Wheeler going to the rim, don't foul him and don't help. I mean, the defender just go with him.
Tshiebwe missed the front end of the 1-and-1. He gets it back, goes in, lays it in.
He can just decimate. What a running back he would be.
You know, Mo Alley Cox is a tight end for the Colts. He played basketball at VCU. I mean, Tshiebwe could be in that same category. Wheeler picks the pocket.
Give it up.
Livingston.
Nice block. Or he got back, or maybe he never got down.
Yeah. Wheeler senses here that Miller just in the game. Young player who has turned the ball over. Great recognition of scouting report. And then Curry, good job on the block.
Yeah, the Cardinals did tell us last night, they said we need to get Miller some valuable minutes, but he was in and now he's out. Getting the zone by the Cardinals. Toppin, little kick.
This kid's really got some confidence after that UCLA game. What do you think?
That's 13 for Toppin in this first half.
Chris Livingston made a great play, though, to get him that easy bucket.
He can string him out, can he?
Well, it was an 8-point game. Now it's up to 12.
Don't settle. You've been doing great, getting to the rim, getting a paint opportunity.
Livingston to Tshiebwe. Working against
nice
Hatfield. Toppin again. He's got 15.
The more you watch Louisville, that's what happens. You can cut on them. Defense breaks down. They don't see the ball and man.
They're picking up the defense now. This
lands.
Possession.
Good floater. Empty.
Here's Toppin.
Wait for the rest. Good play.
Wallace up top for 3, in and out. And now James coming back from the torn Achilles.
So they have to know this is a big trip.
Yep.
Got to get something good. They get the front. Maybe Wallace with the lean in.
14-point game. Well, you guys have both been in this spot before. Happy, right? Sad.
I can relate to sad. Because the Eagles are in the driver's seat.
Driver's seat.
Right?
And we're feeling so good about it. We don't know what to do in Philly. Things are going so well. We don't know what to complain about.
Find something, though. All right, here we go. Louisville will inbound. Under 4 minutes to play here in the first half. They got it to 8. It's now at 14 for Kentucky. 6-0 run for the Wildcats.
A little staggered double here. Again, they got a foul, fortunately, with Toppin over the top. But that is a very difficult pass from that side.
It is, and it's the second time they've done it, but I like that they're posting up Huntley Hatfield. I really like him in the post.
But look
it's
at
a
that
good
pass,
idea,
though.
but they got to get a better angle on the pass.
Got to get all the way over in here.
Well, Lance Ware is checking in for Kentucky. Toppin checks out. He has 15 points.
Yeah, pretty solid half, but of course Ware brings energy too. Very competitive, terrific, I think, defensively.
Kid from Camden, New Jersey. They'll be helped out by a couple of Camden players next year. Ellis, baseline jumper, too strong. And Livingston with the board.
Well, the first guy down the floor. Got that hook game. Pretty good job by Curry. Was a good job. Yeah, moving out.
And now Wheeler sets it back up again.
3 second lane.
Wow.
Whew. Wow. Ron Groover was maybe going out for a sandwich there.
When we were coaching, we used to beg for that all the time. We'd never get that call. They never call that.
That's maybe the only mistake of the game for Tshiebwe.
But he takes advantage of that. He does that purposely until they call it. He'll adjust now.
Here's the baseline. Ellis.
A nice kick out of bounds.
Wow.
He was out and came in.
Yes.
First to touch.
Yeah.
It's like that Ohio State game over Rutgers. Remember the guy came out of bounds?
Right.
And came back in and hit it. It's kind of the same spot.
But it's to your point before, Raph, these turnovers, not all of them are on the floor with the basketball. They're sort of unforced turnovers.
Well, your defense is set, but you don't get a shot is the problem, and a chance for an offensive rebound.
And a three.
He's shooting that a little better, with a lot more confidence. Coming in 11 for 28, drilling the tree.
Over 1,000 points, over 600 assists.
He does work really good. They got the mismatch if they want.
Ellis up top, open for three. No good. And there's still lands. And James fouled going up. Count the bucket.
Continuation, yeah. Nice little dribble drive.
Mike James is coming on, man. He's been playing better and better coming off that Achilles injury last year. And he's a guy that can post up too. He can post up smaller guards. He's tough going to the rim.
The other, he had some blocks against State too. He does a lot of nice things. Gets a little chatty. With Arkansas out in the Maui.
He's a very personable young man.
Yeah, again, he last year tore the Achilles right before the start of the season. Missed the whole year. And now this is basically his freshman season.
Right.
Had 16 points against Bellarmine, the 5th most in a debut for a freshman in Louisville history.
Watch out for the foul line in Tshiebwe on the offensive glass.
It's a lob on the back line, too. They like to look for lobs here.
Here's Livingston, and his little
Too easy.
runner is beauty.
Trying to steal some time, you pay for it.
The two guys that Cal wanted to get going were Livingston and Toppin, and both of them have delivered, and that's why the Cats are up.
41-25, Ellis.
Tshiebwe with a great string out. Nice hesitation.
That's a tough shot. Lands gets it to go.
Not too bad in that lane.
And then Ellis with the steal.
An offensive-minded kid, Lance.
James back out to Ellis. Ellis for three. First one of the day.
He's okay on a kick out or an offensive rebound kick out.
But look at that decision by James not to shoot that and kick it out for three.
11-point game. We'll be back. 41-30 the score, 1:42 to play here in the first half. This is an energizing sequence for Louisville.
Big time job getting to the rim by Kamari Lands. And then this steal, Ellis doing it all. But look at Mike James here. He doesn't take it. He finds the best shooter on the team. They drill a three here, get Cal, call a timeout. That's a big turnaround. And they keep it at 11 right now. If they can go in single digits at halftime, dealing with the start Kentucky had, they're in good shape.
Yeah, they've answered the runs, and I think that was an objective for Louisville coming in, answer the runs. Because against NC State, that 17-0 run, they never answered it.
Drilled them. They do have dry spells.
Yep. Cal talked about this yesterday in practice. You know, maybe pass the ball a few more times.
They're not running that floppy set. Now, this is a little box set pin down.
Wallace for three, off the front of the rim.
Look who's there.
Tshiebwe off the glass, it's good.
The vacuum. It just comes to him naturally. His anticipation, incredible.
That's already a double-double for Tshiebwe. And there's a minute left in the first half.
Louisville's back to that smaller lineup, facing up Tshiebwe.
Huntley Hatfield jumper, no good.
Livingston, factor, he can run the floor too. Another one of those guys that helps you in that early offense.
Jay, you like this slowdown a little bit for Kentucky?
This is what Cal was talking to him about.
Again, a little box set.
Oh, Collins with the catch and the jam.
Just a little diagonal screen and a back screen, and that kid can elevate with the rest of them.
Damian Collins been dealing with some personal issues. They wanted to get him back in the lineup tonight. Cal runs a back screen lob for him. Great call.
2-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Ellis from the corner for three. Ball tipped out, lands.
Keeper for one.
Shot clock is off. Lands three, tough shot. Wallace with the rebound.
Got a chance here.
To the corner. Livingston.
Nice block. I'll tell you, Louisville, a lot of spirit, a lot of gumption. Shore some things up defensively in particular. Stay in touch.
Coming up on AT&T at the half, Adam and Seth will get you caught up on the scores and highlights in a busy top 25 day in college hoops, along with the look ahead to the second game of our triple header. Oklahoma State visiting number 4 Kansas. That's all coming up on AT&T at the half. What a rivalry this is. Kentucky on top by 15. 7-0 when leading at the half. We're going to AT&T at the half right after this. Between Louisville and Kentucky so far is in the hands of Kentucky. I don't know if it's that much of a surprise, Bill.
Well, I'm a little annoyed that they don't compete against Tshiebwe. We talked about it.
That's getting to you.
Like, come on, run the floor, beat him to the spot, fight him for the low box area.
National Player of the Year. He's a monster in this.
I know, but leave something out there. I mean, he's just eating them up.
We're talking about all half. He can't get over that.
Yeah.
He can't get over it.
Let's take a look at our Sonic first half statistics. You see the 19 rebounds. Tshiebwe has 10 of those rebounds. He has 10 points, 10 rebounds, and another double-double. Ellis has been good, though, 11 points. He's fighting. He's 5 for 11. All right, what do you got there with Tshiebwe, Jay?
This is a talent. We have to appreciate the fact that his positioning, his hands, his ability to know where the ball's coming off the rim, it's a talent. This is the best in the country.
Of course, this kid, I thought he really played well within himself. Defensively, was a nudge a little bit, attacked more, didn't settle for the three. This steal gives him an opportunity for a nice little kick out, bangs the thing down. But, could I add something here?
Yeah, what do you got?
You guard Pete Maravich out there, he can embarrass you. Michael Jordan. But just to run the floor and compete on the boards, that's something you got to leave out there. Would you agree?
I agree. And
I know he's great.
And I think Huntley, that they're going to try to do that, and I think you're going to see that this half.
There's nice high-low.
Yep.
Pretty.
Huntley Hatfield off the pass from Curry with the two bigs. 45-32. 55th meeting between these two teams. John Calipari 11-3 against Louisville, and Huntley Hatfield with the rebound.
Good start for Louisville right here.
There it was for you, Raph. They competed. They kept Tshiebwe off the glass right there with good physicality.
Did they hear my presentation?
They might have.
I think they heard you at halftime.
Ellis assessing.
Nice slip.
Yep. Here's James for three.
Yes! It goes. He gets them organized. He loves his spirit. Isn't that what he said?
He really does. And James was hitting those shots yesterday. We saw it in practice. He can post up and get to the rim. He could get going this second half.
Wheeler running the point. Wallace inside for Tshiebwe. Quick first step. The rim blocked it, though. He got too deep.
There you go, Raph. He's competing.
Yeah, he did. He bodied him under the glass.
Ellis to the basket. Got Tshiebwe up, and he's fouled.
Got him hit. Just nice little hesitation. You like this little high-low kid?
Yeah. Quick seal, high-low. Get Tshiebwe away from the basket. Great execution. This is our guy, Mike James. Mike James can really score and he's coming off that injury from last year. I think he's getting better and better every game. I'd love to see him get it going this second half. Let's try to give Ellis a little help here, right?
Yeah.
Hunley, Hartfield, James, get it going a little bit.
Ellis' second free throw. It's good. He makes both.
Kenny's got to really feel good about this start, too, this half.
7-0 run for Louisville. Wheeler, he's caught in the air. Toppin, right side of the lane, got his man up. Maybe one extra spin move.
Look who's there.
Yep.
I mean, you can't just latch onto him. He's so aggressive in his maneuvering. And granted, he's an exceptional rebounder. I understand that.
But you know that going in.
Yeah. His effort, extraordinary.
Hey, the Cards are going great start right here. They could get this to 6 here.
45-37. Curry lets the screen go for Ellis. Ellis going right to the basket, cut off by Toppin.
And what a great job, Tshiebwe, all the way to the rim. And a nice little weak side cover, too. That's a tough cover, too, that corner 3.
It is. I'll take that, though, from Ellis. I like Ellis aggressive. He's going to the rim, and he's looking to make plays for his teammates. If he completes that, they're getting a 3. He's got to stay on the attack.
You know, Orlando Antigua, the assistant coach of Kentucky, his buddy Albert Ellis ran track and played football at Pitt, the father of Ellis.
Here comes Wheeler leading transition, working against James.
Oh, a perfect trap. Curry's got to stay ready now.
Shot clock down to 10.
There's that duck in. Pretty good D.
Yeah, James with the steal. And a foul on the floor.
Once in a while. So
here's your guy, Raph. Here's your guy.
It's into that lane. I just love the defense. Collectively, James has really had a good, solid half. Or beginning of the half.
But before that play, Tshiebwe ducked in, and Curry bodied him like you're talking about and took away the ducking.
James gets it into Ellis.
ISO here to his advantage.
Ellis, quick first step. Fouled on the floor. They're going to get Wheeler for that one.
He was a load, didn't he? I don't mean in a physical sense, just competitive in attack mode.
I like the quick first step that he has with the dribble. James looking for Withers, gets it to him. James posting up. It'll be Kentucky basketball. Wallace just got his hand in there.
He is very active on the defensive end. Always around.
I like the start, though, for the second half for the Cards. They've come out aggressive with some purpose, and defensively they're doing what you're talking about, Raph. They're taking away Tshiebwe so far inside.
And Toppin's got to get going, too.
Yeah.
To help them.
Tshiebwe right down the lane. He's fouled hard by Huntley Hatfield.
And a good foul, too. Knowing he has some struggles from that free throw line.
Showed a pretty quick step there.
I was just going to say, he is quick. Look at this. Big fella, moving large at that rim.
That is impressive for a guy that size to make that quick of an explosion to the basket.
Have you heard him interviewed by chance occasionally?
Yeah, great person.
Unbelievable, right? Charming.
And you and I talked about the Missouri game when they were down. He was keeping his teammates fired up. He was competing to the end. A great leader for this team, too.
Yeah, he had some good comments even after the game about their growth as a team.
Great attitude.
Made the first free throw. By the way, that foul was on Curry. It's his 3rd, so he's going to take a seat. Tshiebwe made one, missed one. Livingston with the rebound.
He and Toppin have been big factors, I think. Pretty good size. They should be better defensively, too, Kentucky, with the expanse.
Because of their
Toppin.
There's a little lob. Look who comes up with it. There's no reason. There's no reason other than his heart.
But you got to give him that.
Oh no!
Look, when they drive the ball at his man right there, which happened to be on that play, Withers, they start to come and help, and then they lob it up to Tshiebwe and they're beat.
All right, now you're coaching. You call a timeout. What do you say to the 4 guys in red that let him get the ball?
I'm saying, fake at the driver and don't leave Tshiebwe. Get into his body.
Made the first free throw.
Not quite that nicely.
I was going to say, is it going to be in that tone?
Yeah. Well, whatever Kenny Payne said at halftime, whatever the tone was, it worked because they came out here with a great execution. Now they've got to finish it off.
Made one, missed one. Huntley Hatfield with the rebound. Again, it's a 10-point game. 7-0 run for Louisville to start the game. It's been quieted now by the Cats.
And Jay had mentioned this earlier. This is a better lineup, I think, with Hatfield doing these kind of things to get the big fella away from the rim.
Ellis.
Nice roll.
He needs some help. That's a
nice denial with time. That's why I think they got to be better defensively. The length.
Shot clock is at 2. He throws it up.
And Jay, when I say length, it also is a shorter closeout. Think of that, because they can stop maybe 3-4 feet earlier with that hand up and do a heck of a job.
And you have to cover less room on the floor. I think that's what you're saying, and that's exactly what they did in that possession right there.
All right, back to the zone now, it looks like. Got to watch the free throw line. Toppin's open.
That's the spot. They need him to go.
17 points for Jacob Toppin.
Here's the dilemma. They didn't step up on Toppin. They stay with Tshiebwe, and Toppin drills the jump.
Little late double.
Yeah, to the corner trainer for 3. It's an air ball. Tshiebwe's 12th rebound. Little danger zone right now for Louisville.
Yeah, I would agree.
Wallace into the paint. Ooh, he kept his
step
pivot.
through, pretty. How about that?
Just a freshman, folks.
When they get all these guys going, when they get Wallace and Livingston, Toppin going, they're dangerous. This is a
nice cut
one to see.
And that's just a tough pass, but a good cut. Wide open, Withers. How about this? Your guy had a great start, little floater game, stayed away from the 3. Kason, a little kiss in downtown Lexington.
What it's like to play at Louisville, and now he's coaching in his first season. It is the worst start since the 1940 year. But Jay, you have perspective on this. When you started at Hofstra, you were 10-18 that first year,
do. And we started 2-12, and you realize it's going to take time, and no one around you wants to hear it. And as a leader, you've got to be the one that says, we're going to dare to be different here. We're going to stick to our plan. And we saw him practice yesterday. Kenny's got a great plan, a great demeanor, and his team is listening and paying attention.
You were talking very seriously, but Bill wanted to add his name.
I was at the bottom of the list.
8-10 in your first year at Fairleigh Dickinson, Bill. Just so
was I?
Yeah.
Wow. I thought it was worse than that.
Yeah.
Well, I loved every minute of it, I'll tell you. Both places. Seton Hall was so good to me.
Here's Ellis. Lands to the basket, off the glass. It's good.
Adjustment. Just try and stay. This is the end, though, Jay. They got to tee it up. You mentioned about seeing the ball, and man, they're vulnerable to cuts and dribble drives.
Dude, they've got great length. They should be a good defensive team.
Lands, who averaged over 33 points a game in high school. How about that?
There's that straight line drive, breaks you down.
Toppin, elbow jumper.
How about
he
this
is in rhythm.
Or whatever massage job John did, it was effective. He doesn't need a couch, he just needs a hardwood.
Big time. That's a career high in field goals for Toppin, and he's closing in on his career high in points as Reeves is called for the foul.
Got there late, didn't lead his man to that box area, James. And you had mentioned James does have a little post-up game.
Yeah, I like James in a post. And Antonio Reeves is the last piece that John Calipari wants to get going. I think he's okay. He's got Toppin going. He's got Livingston going. Now let's see if we can get Antonio Reeves going.
Inbounds goes to James, short on the 3. Toppin with the board.
Nice check out by Wheeler, too.
5 rebounds for Toppin.
Nice little back line defense.
Tshiebwe, foul.
Lands, little tardy.
Didn't need that one. Didn't need that one.
They had run a nice little set defensively, too.
Yeah.
On the roll guy,
Yeah.
covered.
They had that covered. He tried to come over and just make an extra special play. It's not needed. You just got to stay solid there.
Oh,
Can you I'm sorry, Tom. Can you recall anybody you coached against that was as impactful as this guy?
No, that's why when you're going crazy about they can't. I really can't think of anybody that had that strength, that bounce, hands, and the timing.
I'll give you one guy that I think rebounds like Jerry Lucas.
I was thinking Wes Unseld.
Wow, those are two good names.
Wow. Jerry was a two-handed rebounder way before your time.
No.
You didn't have a Taylor when that happened.
I didn't have a Taylor, but I remember it.
Well, thumbs up from Tshiebwe as he makes both free throws. He has 14 points, 12 rebounds.
They're trying to rush him, and they do a little bit.
James has it stolen away.
Nice call by Cal with the defense.
Toppin. One thing about James as he evolves, he has way more turnovers than assists. Almost 3 times the number. Tshiebwe and Toppin his foul going up. Friday on CBS TV's top news show returns. Fire Country. The show critics call explosive and pure entertainment. Don't miss a new episode of Fire Country. Friday, 9, 8 Central on CBS.
No, I'm on the burn board at St. Barnabas Hospital.
Oh, you are?
And they have a dinner every year. The greatest heroes. Yeah. They get the reward. They don't want to. I want to thank my fellow firefighters. That's it. And they've saved lives and always on call and just talk about heroes and competitors. Pretty special people.
Well, they're part of the color guard before the start of today's ball game. The firemen from the Lexington area. Here's Toppin back to the free throw line. He's evolved from his first year at Rhode Island. And his brother Obi, first round pick by the Knicks, has certainly influenced him with his off-season regimen. His 20 points today matches his career high.
Obi's been injured, I think, of late.
Yeah.
For him to come back. But I love his style today. He wasn't looking for the three. Early in the year, he was shooting with confidence, but I love his middle game.
And Ellis foul going up by Tshiebwe. That'll be 3 fouls on Tshiebwe, so it'll be interesting to see what John Calipari does here.
Yeah, Tshiebwe must really take care of himself. Seriously, I mean, to compete at this level?
But you know what's interesting? Ellis has gotten 2 of the fouls on Tshiebwe. Getting inside, getting him up in the air, and going at his chest, which I'd like to see all of the Louisville guys do. But Tshiebwe and Toppin are playing really well off of each other, too. That's been impressive. They're finding each other high-low on rip moves, which are cuts to the basket when the ball's in the post.
It's kind of what they talk about with Tshiebwe, though. He understands his teammates, so maybe his understanding is, all right, I have to get Toppin going, too.
3 fouls, I believe, right?
Yep, 3 fouls.
Frederick on that bench.
After the miss, the follow by Lands.
They set up this little 2-2-1. Dangerous.
They had got over 3 minutes without a basket, and now they've got 3 points quickly and a foul called on Ellis.
Taking a little blow.
Yeah, they don't ever want to take Ellis off the floor. Right, he's a ball handler, scorer.
You're 2-2-1. You'd go nuts on this. You don't take away the sideline, right? Before you got help in the middle.
Yes. And then once you do, you got to let him go. You can't press and foul.
He's hurting a little bit. He looks like Tom about 11:30 last night.
On my second trip back to the restaurant to get my phone.
See if Hershey Miller can get it going for him a little bit here. He had a good outing against NC State.
Wheeler down low, finds a man, and a smother off the glass by Lance Ware.
Nice find by Wheeler, too. Ware just goes in and does his job. He knows his qualities and limitations.
Ware had started the last 2 games.
Nice pass. Look at the collaboration. Toppin and Ware. I love that, though. That kind of coverage. Don't give up on a play.
All right, so there's Ellis going back to the locker room after being taken out of the ball game. We'll keep an eye on that one.
That's a big loss.
That's a huge loss,
to say the least. But that's a play right there we call a rip move, when you go into the post and the opposite forward dives and you find him. Kentucky's been doing a great job of that. That was a really good look by Curry there.
By the way, the fans reacted on that Ware foul because they thought it was a clean block as Ellis comes back.
Instant recovery. I like that.
Yeah. Trainer to the free throw line. First of 2. In and out. 60%. Not many attempts.
You know, Ellis with only 1 turnover, by the way. Averaging near 5 a game. That's pretty impressive.
That was very impressive.
Second one is good.
I still think if they can get him back, he's capable of taking over a game.
And Wheeler being harassed. Ball spun out of his hands. 4 turnovers for Wheeler, and then he comes back and knocks it away.
Nice job, not giving up on the play. Muggsy Bogues was the best. If he was behind you, call home for help.
That is a great job getting up off the floor here. And anytime the ball, when you have it in the middle of the floor in transition, you got to know someone's coming from behind you.
Not everybody's Colin Gillespie, by the way. So you know.
Keep looking at Ellis on the bench over there. He's moving around. Might be just getting a rest.
I'm not forgetting Brunson and Reggie Diacono either.
That's right. Curry's fouled on the floor.
I think Ware.
So Ware called for the second foul. Well, does Louisville have a run? John Calipari certainly has run his team today. Can Ellis come off the bench? Put some points in for Kenny Payne. The fast analysis. All right, so Jay, you talked about some of the things before the ball game, trying to get Tshiebwe out of the mix a little bit. It's been tough.
And it's on both ends. He does it on the defensive end. This is a foul shot. This is inexcusable. Now this one right here, this is a great team rebound. But he always is the one that comes up with it.
Right.
you never see a body on him getting his legs out of there. And, you know, we talked about the turnovers. They've already got 12. We wanted to keep it under 10. Get a shot. Ellis still got a chance to take over this game. I still believe he can do it. He's back in the game.
Yeah, he's been sitting for the last 2 minutes after coming out with an apparent injury. 3 points in the second half. He had 11 in the first half.
And Jay, the speed of the game a little different for Kentucky. No fast break points. You would, off air, you were commenting on it.
That's really interesting, Raph, because we heard John talk to the team about that. You know, let's not just go up and down and throw up the first shot. Let's, in his beautiful way, say, let's throw 4 passes. Then what are people going to say? They're going to say we're becoming a team. And he brought them all together in a group hug.
Second shot for Curry. Short. Reeves with the rebound.
Need those clock stoppages. Chance for a couple.
Yeah, Curry's been held to 3 points. He's been double digits the last 4 games. Wheeler in and out.
Look who's there with his hands. And he's going to go to the foul line, I think. Interesting. But that was a nice little play. You know, ball screen and then a back screen on the screener. And just an open opportunity and no coverage there for an open look. And look, holding the arm on him. Impossible. If you got to stick him.
Yeah, Raph is good. I've never seen Raph so fired up about this. But he's right. You got to be physical. Because he's going to jump over you if you're not taking his legs out.
He would admire you.
Yeah.
He's that kind of kid. That's part of the game.
Curry, by the way, just checked out with 4 fouls. Reeves pulls it back out against this zone.
High-low, they got Tshiebwe.
Yeah, he's
forget it.
Open, bam!
Say goodnight. Woo. Get the egg off the brow. They just eat it up.
6 points. Pretty good way to attack the zone, though.
Toppin and Tshiebwe are really playing well off of each other.
Good to see Toppin. I think he's got big-time talent.
Here's Ellis off the curl from the free throw line. Wheeler made that a tough shot.
Moved pretty good, though, Ellis, so the hip's not bothering him.
Yeah. Louisville goes back to man-to-man now.
They just picked that zone apart, both halves.
I like this line.
Nice drag dribble by Reeves. Boy, just got him on his hip. And just such an open look in here, running that baseline, a little semi-high-low, and bang, send it in, big fella. You are the man. Boy, you don't take care of business with this guy. It's going to be a long bus ride.
When that middleman plays in the zone, the two back guys have to pinch. What I mean by pinch is they've got to both drop and take Tshiebwe. If you don't play zone a lot, you're not comfortable with that all the time.
Well, you're from the city of zones in the past mostly, right?
Exactly right. A lot of great Philadelphia coaches.
I'm going to Harry Litwack. Yeah, first jumps to mind was Dr. Jack.
And Jack really Kraft had the Villanova ball zone.
Jack McCluskey when he was at Penn. Am I aging myself a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Reeves made one, missed one. Reeves has been quiet.
Don Casey, forgot Don, of course, continued that tradition. He's still invited to pro camps, Jay, to talk about something. That's how much.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
All right, so Rupp Arena, beautiful place. Jay's toughest road games that you've coached in.
Well, we didn't have to play here. I've never played here, but Creighton on Dollar Beer Night. Dollar Beer Night there was incredible. Steve Lavin would come in just for Dollar Beer Night.
He paid his own way. But that was the toughest, though, you thought? I thought Butler, when you played Butler, I thought those were the toughest games.
Butler was some really tough games. And, you know, Kansas is a place we've played a number of times. Kansas, we got coming up this afternoon, was a great place to play.
Well, 22 points for Jacob Toppin. They wanted to get him confident. Well, his confidence is blossoming. Garrow, and they were getting a chance to host local families at the team's facilities for some food, some gift giving, and caroling. The Kentucky Wildcats, that is. That was pretty cool.
It was nice. Yeah, you know, all these coaches, and Jay as well, get so involved in charities. You know, they've had floods here in Kentucky, tornadoes, and Kyle's raised tons of money, millions of dollars, and just help needy causes. It's pretty impressive. As you as well, you're very involved in the Coaches versus Cancer.
John is one of the best, though. He's definitely one of the best.
Huntley Hatfield goes out to James. James over the top of Toppin, gets the roll.
Nice little drop step finish.
There we go. That's what we need, the toughness from Mike James to make some plays like that. Now get in the stance and get a stop here.
8 points for James. Toppin, big day for him. Has it stripped away by Ellis.
Pretty. Great recognition. Paying attention to the scouting report, but he's a goer, though. He doesn't give up on a play. That's like a turnover, that shot. They got 5 on 4.
Oh, wow, look at this.
And nobody at all. I think we should know his number. What do you think?
and he's on the ball side. You should find him.
How about his reaction when he caught it, thinking he's going to have somebody there, and all of a sudden his eyes got wide. 18 points, 12 rebounds. And for Wheeler, that's assist number 6.
Kenny's got something to build on here, but it got to really defensively become more sound and basic. Shot selection and push turnover is key. This kid knifes his way big time.
He's also found a lineup here, Raph, that can play. You can play big with Curry, but Huntley Hatfield at the 5 here, Joyner at the 4.
Well, early in the year, that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
Nice, made himself big, Huntley. That was an open look for Toppin.
Reeves getting some run. He averages nearly 13. Transfer from Illinois State, gets it to Wheeler. Shot clock under 10. Toppin.
He's not settling for that deep one.
Shot clock is at 2. Wheeler, contact, throws it up, no good. Gets his own rebounds. Wallace for 3, good.
And the reason he got the rebound, they were trying to keep Tshiebwe away from the glass.
Huntley Hatfield was working so hard just to keep him off the glass. He couldn't go for the rebound, and he kept it alive. He does so many things for this team other than just rebound the ball. He keeps balls alive. He screens, post up.
Ellis trying to dominate here with a mid-post against Wheeler. Nice reach in, but Wallace, I tell you, he's awfully close to getting the, he goes with 2 hands to steal the ball, but I've had it with Tshiebwe. About
Raph can't stop him, and Raph can't stand it.
I love them, but I hate the way they're guarding him. Big fella, little bit large.
or game summary, you see 15 assists for Kentucky. Wheeler has 7 for the 5th time this year. 7 of the 15. They've also out-rebounded the Cardinals. This could be the easiest assist he's ever had.
This assist you'll take any day, but Trainer and Huntley Hatfield don't communicate. But what's worse is they both drop their head as soon as they get the bucket, and that's what Kenny Payne is trying to teach the team. Mental toughness. Get on to the next play.
Talk to one another. Of course, Jack Gibbons, we're talking about. Jim Spanarkel, one of our associates, played at Duke in 1978 against Jack Gibbons' team. They forgot that Jack was free on the foul line.
Oh, no.
How many did he go for? 41? 41?
Yes.
Who were some of the teammates?
He had Spanarkel was on. Spanarkel played with Jaminski.
Right.
But
Denard.
Kyle Macy was the point guard with Jack Gibbons. Remember that?
Rick Roby, who ended up with the Celtics and played in the league. Mike Phillips, another big guy. I used to remember Joe Dean, God bless him, ended up being the LSU AD, an old friend of mine. He used to do the games. In the early days, there was only one game a weekend, and he used to say, Kyle Maysville, looks in the KY. What a sweetheart Joe was.
68-50, Kentucky up by 18. 7.5 to play here in the second half. This is game 1 of 3 on CBS today. Reeves holding it up top.
You had mentioned Collins. Look at this easy drive.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable. They lifted Tshiebwe. You had mentioned Collins, trying to get him back in the flow a little bit. He's doing the same thing, I think, with Reeves, who, just psychologically give him some minutes, give him some opportunities to ring the bell.
Because Reeves was a starter at one point.
Absolutely.
And is a great shooter. When they got Reeves going from 3, then they're really going to be dangerous.
And 24 minutes a game Reeves is averaging.
Wallace first of 2. It's good. This New Year's Eve, join Kelsey Ballerini, Brooks and Dunn, Zach Brown Band, and more of country's biggest stars for the New Year's Eve live Nashville's Big Bash. Tonight starting at 8, 7 Central on CBS. Pat Adams, is doing a little counseling. The official, Pat Adams, Ron Groover, Joe Lindsay.
Counseling or admonishing?
Well, he had a little bit of a smile on his face. Wallace makes both free throws. Wallace has 17 today. The freshman from Dallas, Texas.
Love his game. This is the end he specializes in. He made a catch against Missouri, Jake. I know you watched the tape when they threw it the length of the floor.
No, the play you're talking about.
A wide receiver could.
Exactly.
Under 7 minutes to play. 70-52.
Nickel dimer. I thought we'd see Basili a little more. Let Ellis play off the ball.
Oh, man.
Hey, by the way, Jay, does this look familiar, this view?
This is the seat that I sat in 1985 as assistant coach at the University of Rochester, my first Final Four ever. I was 2 rows from the top, and it was Villanova-Georgetown in the championship game, and I didn't get to stay for the championship game because I was assistant intramural director at University of Rochester. So I had to go back for intramurals on Monday. I was there for the semifinals, sitting all the way up top where our cameras are today.
And now look at you. You went from the last row to the first row. Pretty good move.
Although, looking at that shot, Andy Friedman, our director, kept on that shot to see if we could see the made free throw. We did. Didn't you know anybody that could get you better seats than that?
No, then I didn't. I didn't know anybody back then. I was Division III assistant coach.
72-52 matches the largest lead. Ellis nearly has it stolen away.
Silly, pretty sound kid. Nice little spin, and once again, you see the hands by Wallace's anticipation. Just extraordinary, being in the right spot.
That'll be the 3rd foul on Wallace.
Watch Wallace go. See that? That was a clean. Always deflecting. And watch him help here. I mean, that's pretty close to a good steal.
Yeah, there's only a few players that can go after the ball with 2 hands like that and have the quickness to rip it and without fouling. He is one of them. He is very good at that.
All right, so Ellis was not shooting, Joe Lindsay just said. So this is a 1-and-1. So far today, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. 20 points, 21.
He's got a good offensive game. And I think he's been very much under control, not settling deep.
Pretty good find for Louisville. Again, he's a junior college kid. All-American for 2 years.
Tallahassee Community College.
Made both. 22 points. Quite a jump from last year. 8.7 points per game last year to what he is now.
And from 6-man to being the go-to.
Yeah. Fifth time this year he's above 20 points. Reeves, I thought that was a lob.
Well, these kids have that game, though, don't they?
That floater.
Yeah, either way, float it to the big fella or knock it down.
Lead is back to 20. Third time today it's been at 20.
A tough pass in traffic. Really did a pretty good job, I thought, defensively, getting over the top.
That's Al Ellis's growth from being a scorer to a point guard. That play wasn't there.
Well,
how about these guys, huh? We had Edie early in the year. I don't know how you defend them. Absolutely. And of course, Timmy's such a great passer, great footwork.
Armando Baycott, when they started going back to him, Carolina started getting it going again, 1-4 in a row.
And Sunoco is such an impressive kid, widened his game.
Although Pitt, our boy Jeff Capel, just had a big win against Carolina.
He did. And we're going to see Davis in a couple of weeks. Trace Jackson Davis and our old pal Woody, Mike Woodson.
And don't forget Jalen Wilson in the game after this one. 5.5 to play. 3 up top, no good. Up the side of the iron. Wallace with the rebound. Number 4 for him.
Fabio Basile got to bring some energy here now defensively.
Yeah, high school teammate of Mike James. How about that quick first step by Wallace?
Pretty good containment, too, by Lance. They're going to milk it a little bit as we come down the stretch. They should get a good, easy one.
Shot clock at 4. Wallace, shot fake, Toppin for 3. No good.
See that?
Oh, man.
He's just amazing.
Oh, Toppin over the top of Tshiebwe. Slams it home.
Can you Toppin that one? Oh, both of them electrifying around that rim.
Those two are playing off each other so well. Cal's got to be thrilled about that.
He won this game the last 2 days, Cal.
I agree.
Don't you think? Talking to them, going over his shortcomings. Let's address how we're going to play the rest of the way. And as Louis Conosecchi used to say, leap the chandeliers. Oh, my goodness. What an impressive attack. Rim attack. Toppin.
24 points for Toppin. I mean, that's playing with confidence right there.
Exactly. And his teammate Tshiebwe is so good at attracting other people and freeing him up so they can't put a body on him.
Tshiebwe, by the way, has 13 rebounds. He has 8 offensive rebounds.
Nice slip.
Again.
And there's your squeeze in the back that didn't exist.
Exactly.
Nobody came shoulder or hand to hand at least, extended the arm. Morale has dissipated a little bit right now by Louisville. Not in this building.
Here it is.
Timeout called by Kenny Payne. They're feeling it now here in Lexington. That's a good Mountain West matchup, by the way. All right, let's see our game reset. Each team with 9 fouls, 80-54. Kentucky's certainly taken over here in the second half.
They really have, and Louisville's got to finish this strong. Just for their team's psyche.
Yeah.
James in the post.
Yeah, James has it blocked away. Reeves gets the block.
And even Wallace here not pushing that ball, a little bit under control. Let Tshiebwe get to the rim. And this guy has played as well as I have seen him. Now this is maybe turning the corner career-wise.
If you ask Cal, besides getting a win today, what would you like to see happen? He would say, I'd like to see Toppin have a huge game like this.
Once again, the zone. Look how high he goes up to get that.
Reeves doesn't get that one to go.
No one else can run that play. I'm going to throw the ball 15 feet in the air and have my 4-man go get it.
For your high-low.
Kick it out.
It's kind of what he said yesterday when we were at practice, just all these different things. Toppin was big. Passing the ball a few more times was big. Slowing the game down for certain players. Now, when he said that yesterday at practice, I think he was talking about everybody, but he was pointing to certain players.
Well, Tom, they have had very few fast break points in this game, and that's something that Cal got the team to understand. Us playing a little slower is going to be better for Toppin. It's going to be better for Mitchell, and it's really paid off. I mean, Livingston. Livingston's the guy that's really benefited from that, and so is Wallace.
Do you know the name Elmer Gantry? You ever hear that? He was an old movie, a preacher. That's Cal. Yeah. He can exercise verbally and get kids to buy in.
Wallace gets across the timeline with a couple seconds.
Say goodnight. Showtime right now.
And that's what's great about having a point guard like that. That's still going to make everybody else look good and get easy shots.
That's 9 assists. The answer there.
The trainer able to get into a little mid-range game he possesses.
J.J. Traynor can hit some threes too. If he could get it going for him in this season.
He's got 10 of them, you're right.
And Reeves bumped out of bounds. I think Wheeler thrives on these kind of plays.
How about this little dribble drive up with the split, the speed to get there, just so impressive. Hey, Tom, we got a minute. 2 friends of all of ours, Reggie Warford, you knew him. He was at Pitt when I got to know him, passed away, great player here at Kentucky. And Mike Pratt, who was the analyst for many years, 20 years, I believe, passed away this past year. And I love coming here to talk to him about, he told me everything he knew about the University of Kentucky. Great player, played a couple of years in the old ABA, Charlotte coach at one time. Missed both of them.
Like us, Raph, coaching and then went on the air. He had a heck of a career on the air.
Smart.
A lot better than me.
Some did better coaching than other analysts. Case in point at the desk here.
By the way, L. Ellis just checked out. He may be done for the day. 84-57. James, pull-up jumper, in and out. Tshiebwe, another rebound. That's only 14 for Tshiebwe. Wow.
I know you coaches do this, Jay. I would take this game if I were Louisville, and I would edit it with all the bad things you did, and then the good things after. And can we build on the good things?
He will definitely do that. Kenny will take the start of that second half. He'll take the good lineups they have. They continue to attack. I love how Wheeler not trying to get his.
Shot clock winding down. Ball is loose.
That's good. I love it. And that tells you the attitude that permeates this team because of Kenny. Nice little cross here. Wow, body slide. They're leaving it out there, though.
Well, that foul goes against Toppin. See the Wildcats schedule coming up. LSU on Tuesday. How about LSU? 12-1. Alabama's got 11 wins. Kentucky was picked to win the SEC.
How about the SEC? 6 teams in the top 25.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Going on the road in this league is tough. As we saw Missouri, that Missouri game, I mean, they looked like a top 10 team.
They sure did. And of course, we saw them against Kansas. It was just the opposite.
Yeah.
You know, so who's going to show up? How about being 500 on the road in this league? I don't know if that's possible.
Exactly.
Mari Lands makes the first one.
Alabama just had a great win on the road. The Mississippi State, Mississippi, both of those teams had some tough games.
Second shot is good. Lands will check out. Zan Payne, who was a walk-on here at Kentucky before joining his dad at Louisville, will check in.
The Lexington Catholic kid, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. By the way, there's a great respect between Calipari and obviously Kenny Payne because he was with them so long. Great moment before the ball game. Nice round of applause from the fans here when they showed Kenny Payne up on the board. 1.5 to play.
It was nice to see the Kentucky fans cheer for Kenny Payne.
Wheeler up top, Reeves. Reeves through the defense. He tried that little runner fader. Pinballed it and out.
How about we send the word out to Denny Crum, who I'm sure is watching, right? He and Joe B. Hall had that great relationship.
Big time.
And the radio show, too.
The foul is going to go against Toppin.
I saw they're going to name I believe, a dormitory in his honor, right?
Yeah, we're the men's and women's basketball team. I think another one of the teams is in there also. But what a legendary coach. And I know he's had a great impact on Kenny also.
He played in Freedom Hall most of his career, or coached there, I should say.
That was one of the toughest places to play. I didn't list that as one of my tough ones because it's not there anymore. But that was a tough place to play.
Well, as Kenny wants to do, get that type of talent.
And he's getting those kind of guys. You know, he's getting guys that have length, that like his teams did. Denny Crum started that switching.
Well, Withers makes both. You guys surprised that Toppin and Tshiebwe are still in, or you think Cal wants to finish this?
I am surprised.
I'm surprised that Tshiebwe. I think every minute he can get Toppin feeling good, he's going to take.
Right.
But I mean, I guess he feels Livingston might put him back in, put Wallace back in. And sometimes just trying to get this thing over.
Yeah.
Reeves outside for Wheeler. Shot clock at 5. Wheeler pull up Jay. It's good.
Well, that's all he has to do, really. Does so many other things well. Out of Georgia, led the SEC in assists 2 years in a row. Pretty impressive.
86-61. Roosevelt inside, no good. Gets his own rebound. And his little baseline jumper is good. Roosevelt Wheeler now has 3.
He's got some great, Kenny's got a couple good recruits already signed, and everybody's got to understand he couldn't get recruits.
Yeah.
Because they hadn't made a decision with the NCAA yet.
Right.
Remember, the NCAA cleared them, no probation, they'll get players.
Well, that'll do it. Wheeler's just going to dribble it out. The embrace between Calipari and Kenny Payne at midcourt. Great respect the two have for each other. 27 straight home wins for Kentucky. For Bill Raftery and Jay Wright and our entire crew, I'm Tom McCarthy saying so long from Lexington. 86-63 the final score. Coming up next, the Big 12 showdown between Oklahoma State and Kansas. After the break, we'll send you to Adam Zucker in New York for Inside College Basketball, presented by Progressive Insurance.